again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard. Welcome to the rain. And this is one of two in this part 2 series. Stage 2 of a 16 by 20 and a 14 by 14. And I'm glad I moved that before the rain came because it was someplace it was going to get wet. So I think that I am going to utilize the fact that when I moved this paint out of the way yesterday, this is all dry now, I like it looks like imaginary mountains. But before I do anything else, my inclination is to give myself a layer of wet white paint, and I made myself up, yeah, a butter dish, in fact, of colors that I intend on attempting to probably allow to flow in this area. I don't really want to lose any of the paint that I had where the mountains is, and I'm not too worried about going down any further. Well, let me just use what I've got before I get too frisky. So, being that it's raining out here, I know my paint won't dry as fast as it usually would, which is the one and only best thing about it being rainy, other than the fact that sometimes we can get very lucky and get something very cool while it's raining. Yes, I see that thing. These shapes to me look like mountains in the distance, misty mountains, and I really kind of like that. But I think I'm going to give myself a chance to play with my idea that I wanted to try and dry one half of the painting and then add something to the other half, be it land, be it sky, whatever. I'm going to throw that butter dish in the bucket and see what happens, because I may just wind up, you know, tilting some of that right off, or not. I see that thing that does not belong in there. And I want to just continue on with the exploration of adding white paint and seeing what happens, because I like the cloud effect. I'm going to put an edge catcher, that, if it will release, into my sky. I think I want a little bit more of that, actually, right here. And I'm just going to tilt down into my area, and I can always use my spatulas like I did yesterday to motivate paint, to move paint, to manipulate paint out of the areas I want. I'm going to try and be very sneaky and make that paint do what I want it to do. I don't know if that was a success or not. I am really enjoying the hang on, I'm going for a different one. I don't want that big one. I remember what that big one is like. So I'm going to continue to manipulate that paint. Am I? Because I don't seem to be doing it as well as I was sort of expecting to. I guess I'm going to have a little more paint than I thought I would. I have around here somewhere a straw or a piece of medical tubing, which is eluding me right now, but I know it's close by. But I do have skewers. And skewers are one of my favorite things to play with because they blend paint. I still like those mountains. I still think I might wind up doing something with them. I'm not sure what that something will be yet. Now I'm just filling in that paint so that the rest of the paint will flow and follow it. And I want to leave enough time so that I can do something with the other. I just keep moving my edge catchers. Yeah, there we go. Now I got what I want. Once I get that all the way onto that edge catcher, then in theory I'm going to throw it back into the painting. Come on, in theory. I'm going to flow it down. I'm probably going to rock it a little bit so it covers. I'm going to flow it down the other way and do the same thing again. Rock it. I'm going to throw it right back into the painting. Kind of want to get it down far enough so that I can rock it from side to side. I'm going to take all the paint that's on my edge catcher and put it back in. over on this one side anyway. Let's see if I've got enough left on my spatula or my edge catcher to do the other side. If I don't, I probably will in a minute when I do what I threatened to do. That's pretty extremely different from the bottom half. I'm not sure how much I'm in love with it yet, but things change. You got to give yourself a chance to like something sometimes. I can see there's something over there that does not belong. I'm going to rock that and send all that back while I pluck it out. Come here, you plucky little thing. I'm going to turn that around for you guys. Try not to get too much extra paint. Oh, the rain seems like it's slowing down. I'm juggling. I'm literally juggling. What did I do with my spatula? There we go. I'm all over the place. Come back here. I'm just getting good at this. Maybe seems a little more complicated than it needs to right at the moment. I want to do something tipping to the side that I'm not. I want to be cleaning up that side I just put some paint on the edge catcher onto the bottom half, but whoops. Okay, so I'm covered here, and whatever I want to do with that sky, I'm going to keep moving it down till it's where I want it to be. And if I could find my straw or my medical tubing, I would probably blow around in there. Now, I could put chain in there. I could definitely put the bamboo skewer back in there. I want to have a look at this. There does seem like there's almost enough paint. I really want to be able to imitate the marks that were already there from yesterday, but I don't know how to do that, to tell you the truth. I am hurting paint with my bamboo skewer, and I might be able to do it with my spatula, but it doesn't move a little wave of paint quite as easily as the skewer does. Doesn't look like I can really cover those areas anyway. Looks like they're going to stay in the background, which might be exactly what I want to do. So let's try that. Let's just give them a little bit of paint. Let's do this too. Because again, the name of my book on the Amazon link. Okay, so do I like that? Am I sure I don't? I'm just going to keep tipping till I get something that I do like. And if I have to remove paint from my bottom half, I'll try and do that too. I think I just avoided having to do that so far. I'm heading it all down to the bottom. You can't reproduce that effect with... Gonna have to make sure I don't get any more paint on there. I need that straw. That's what I want right now. Boy oh boy. Everything fell over yesterday and now it's MIA. I'm just going to move this into position. And I guess we're going to find out together what happens. I'm going to steal a little paint. Tuck it right down there. This is taking too long. It's because it's an experiment. I somehow have to not mind that those paint colors are showing through, or I have to plan on fixing it tomorrow by adding something similar to them in my wildest dreams to imitate the effect that I like so much. Got a little bit of paint where I don't want it over here. And otherwise, I just want to throw some more white paint someplace. Like right there. Yeah, I'm like using up all kinds of time. I've only got 6 minutes left and I've got a whole nother painting I was supposed to fill in. It'll be alright. Whatever it is, I'll make it work. I'm just going to herd some paint with my skewer right down into those little areas so they're not showing any canvas through anymore. And then I'm going to call it fairly good. There. I got my blowing effect more or less, which is what I wanted. I'm going to keep doing it too. I use GAC 800 by Golden in all my paints to keep them, even when they're heavy, when they're in a layer, from cracking when they dry. And hopefully they continue to work just that way now too. My temptation is really to go ahead and put some chain in there and spiral some things out, but there's a lot of bada. Okay, that's all, folks. That would be good if I could finish this, but I think the other one's gonna have to be another part 2, part 2B, because I'm not in love with this sky either. So for me, that means just tipping it all down again. I'm going to pick up some of that. Put it right down there in that little void. Yes, I'm liking the drips toward the top better. They look more like clouds to me than they did. Just dipping a little Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula, which reminds me, on my Amazon link you can find the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas and the OXO omelet turning spatulas and ball chain, like so. Obviously should have gone in the bucket, still got paint on it. And my book called Because I Can. That is the first 100 recordings that I did of YouTube artworks, and all the tools and the processes and the dry photographs. And I could add a big white cloud in there easily, but I think I'm going to just learn to love this. And I'm going to wonder whether that stuff is going to show through. And I really did like those mountains behind, and there is always tomorrow. So, just because I don't like it immediately doesn't mean I won't like it tomorrow when I fix it, if I'm going to fix it at all, and I'll decide that later on. I don't really have an awful lot of time left to do the other painting, and I really would like this to be something that I like. Doing things upside down is not a good idea for me, and I don't know why I continually do it. But I am going to torch to release the bubbles in the paint. Well, after I fix that one spot, but I'm going to steal some paint. Little waggle. Little waggle never hurt anybody. Yeah, okay, well, it was an experiment, so we're still experimenting with it. We torch to release the bubbles in the paint. Whoa! And we try not to burn the paint with the torch. And if you do yourself a favor, have some standing by that you can fix it with. Because paint will heal paint too, fortunately. I should have known that I couldn't do both paintings in one video, but I just did a hit and run on a different video, so I was feeling kind of cocky, I guess. I don't mind that. I don't want to find any little craters from dried bubbles that popped, or bubbles that popped and left craters. The sky is kind of subtle compared to the other, but I love you guys, and I am not going to try and make the other video in a rush, because I think a rush is what got me what I have this time. So let's call this part 2 and done and hope that I'm right. And I'll tell you guys that I do sell my artwork, so if you want to get in touch with me through my website and the last 20 seconds of any video, you can find that information. I see that thing. It looks like a dot of paint that I'm going to camouflage with another dot of paint in a minute. Okay, so I told you about the Amazon link. My playlist is over 750 videos long and it's on the end screens. You can find it there. You can find my paint pouring recipe, the additives that I put into my acrylic paints to make them flow more easily, underneath the video. I do have classes at Spring Hill, Florida in the studio in the air-conditioned comfort of the home. I have Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter links way down at the bottom underneath the description, underneath the video, under Show More. I want to thank you guys for all the wonderful compliments and comments that you keep my morale up every day, and I want to thank you very much for the contributions that have kept me painting all this time. And there's always a contest running on the end screens. If you look for whatever this month's video exhibition is, you will also find this month's prizes being offered at the same place. And I love you guys. There's over 75,000 of you. Yay. And if you have questions, feel free to ask, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard going, sorry about not giving you the other painting finish, but I think it'll be better off if I do it the way I'm planning on doing it, which is with a little more leisurely time. All right, boys and girls. Yeah. Bye, kids. See you soon. Watch some videos. Hey, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, would ya? It helps the YouTube algorithm know where to put my videos so more people can find them. And the more people who find them means the more likely I am to keep coming back and making you a video for every day. I know some of you really like watching my videos, so thank you all for the love. And I love you too. Yeah, I saw that. Bye now. Priscilla out.